There's something happening in your spirit right now that you can't quite name. You've been feeling it for weeks, maybe months, a stirring that wakes you up at night, a restlessness that follows you through your days, a knowing that something significant is shifting even when everything around you looks exactly the same. If you're a woman who's been sensing God moving in ways you can't explain, this message is specifically for you. What you're experiencing isn't random. It's not anxiety. It's not confusion. It's preparation. And by the end of this message, you'll understand exactly what God is doing in your life right now. Let me start with a truth that might surprise you. When God decides to elevate a woman, to position her for something greater, He doesn't just change her circumstances. He changes her from the inside out. He rewires her heart, reshapes her perspective, and rebuilds her foundation. And that process, that sacred work, it rarely feels comfortable. You know that feeling when you try on clothes that used to fit perfectly, but now they feel tight in all the wrong places? That's what your life feels like right now. The spaces you used to love don't feel the same. The conversations that once energized you now drain you. The relationships that brought you comfort now feel suffocating. You're not losing your mind, you're outgrowing your old skin. Here's what I need you to understand. When God begins preparing a woman for her next season, the first thing He does is create divine dissatisfaction. He makes you uncomfortable with where you are so you won't resist where He's taking you. That restlessness you feel, that inability to settle back into your old rhythms, that's not a problem to solve. It's a signal to recognize. Think about a butterfly in its cocoon. Before transformation, everything the caterpillar knew dissolves. Its body literally breaks down before it rebuilds into something entirely new. The process isn't pretty. It's messy, uncomfortable, and completely disorienting. But it's necessary. Without that breakdown, there's no breakthrough. Right now, God is doing cocoon work in your life. He's dissolving old patterns, old mindsets, old fears that would limit what He wants to do through you. And yes, it feels uncomfortable. Yes, it feels uncertain. But it's the most sacred work happening in your life right now. Let me tell you about the woman God is preparing. She's not the woman who has it all figured out. She's the woman who's willing to let God figure it out through her. She's not the woman who never struggles. She's the woman who lets her struggles become her strength. She's not the woman who never feels afraid. She's the woman who moves forward despite her fear. The woman God is preparing has learned to distinguish between what feels good and what is good for her. She's developing spiritual discernment that cuts through surface appearances and sees what's really happening underneath. She's learning to trust God's timing even when it doesn't make sense to her natural mind. And here's something crucial you need to know. The preparation process isn't just about what God is adding to your life. It's about what He's removing. Every woman God elevates goes through a season of subtraction before addition. He removes people who would hold you back, opportunities that would distract you, and habits that would limit you. You might be looking around right now, wondering why certain friendships feel different. Why conversations that used to flow now feel forced. Why activities that used to bring you joy now feel empty. It's not because there's something wrong with you. It's because God is upgrading your spiritual taste buds. When your spirit begins to mature, it naturally rejects what doesn't align with your destiny. Your tolerance for drama decreases. Your appetite for superficial connections diminishes. Your desire for deeper meaning increases. This isn't you becoming antisocial or judgmental. This is you becoming aligned. But here's where many women get confused. They think preparation should feel empowering from day one. They expect clarity, confidence, and certainty throughout the entire process. But that's not how God works. His preparation often feels like stripping before building, emptying before filling, breaking before making. The woman God is preparing will often feel like she's walking through a fog. She can sense that something significant is coming, but she can't see the full picture yet. She feels pulled in a direction she can't fully explain to others. She experiences dreams and visions that don't make complete sense in her current reality. This divine ambiguity isn't meant to frustrate you. It's meant to increase your faith. When you can't see the full plan, you learn to trust the planner. When you can't understand the process, you learn to lean into the one guiding it. God is preparing you for rooms you've never entered, conversations you've never had, and influence you've never imagined. But those rooms require a version of you that doesn't exist yet. That influence demands a level of spiritual maturity you're still developing. That calling needs a depth of character you're still building. So he takes you through preparation seasons that feel like wilderness experiences. Seasons where you feel isolated but not abandoned. Seasons where you feel stretched but not broken. Seasons where you feel challenged but not defeated. The woman God is preparing learns to find peace in the process instead of rushing toward the promise. She discovers strength in surrendering instead of demanding control. She finds joy in becoming instead of just achieving. And here's what makes this journey beautiful. Every uncomfortable moment, every confusing season, every time you feel like you're walking blind, God is working. He's developing your character, deepening your faith, and expanding your capacity for what's coming. The woman you're becoming is worth every moment of preparation you're walking through right now. You've been carrying burdens that were never yours to bear, and God sees every single one. The woman he's preparing has been wounded, and he knows it. He sees the betrayal you never spoke about, the rejection that cut deeper than anyone realized, the disappointment that left you questioning your worth. But here's what the enemy doesn't want you to understand. God will never promote a broken foundation. So before he positions you, he heals you. Before he elevates you, he restores you. Before he opens the door, he mends what was shattered inside. This healing doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen the way you expect. It happens in layers, in moments, in quiet conversations between you and heaven. You'll find yourself crying over things you thought you'd moved past. You'll feel emotions you buried years ago rising to the surface. Old wounds will ache again. Not because you're going backward, but because God is finally addressing what you've been avoiding. The healing he's doing in you right now is surgical, intentional, and absolutely necessary. The woman God is preparing cannot carry yesterday's pain into tomorrow's assignment. She cannot lead others to freedom while she's still bound by her own chains. She cannot speak life into broken hearts while her own heart remains fractured. So God does the deep work first. He heals your trust issues before he brings you the right relationships. He restores your confidence before he opens doors that require boldness. He addresses your abandonment wounds before he positions you to be a spiritual mother to others. Every area of healing corresponds to an area of future ministry. And while he's healing you, he's also raising your standards. The woman God is preparing develops zero tolerance for what used to drain her. She stops entertaining relationships that require her to shrink. She stops accepting treatment that dishonors her value. She stops making excuses for people who consistently show her who they really are. This isn't pride. This is preservation. God is protecting what he's invested in you by teaching you to protect yourself. He's showing you that boundaries aren't walls to keep people out. They're gates to let the right people in. Your discernment is sharpening. Your spiritual antenna is becoming more sensitive. You can feel the difference between genuine love and emotional manipulation. You can sense when someone's energy doesn't align with their words. You can tell when an opportunity looks good but doesn't feel right in your spirit. The woman God is preparing learns to trust her inner knowing over external pressure. She learns to value peace over popularity. She learns to choose purpose over temporary pleasure. These aren't easy lessons, but they're essential ones. Right now, God is stretching your capacity. He's expanding your emotional endurance, your spiritual sensitivity, your mental toughness, your heart's ability to love without losing yourself. This stretching process feels uncomfortable because growth always does. You can't stay the same size and hold what God wants to give you. Think about a woman preparing to give birth. Her body expands, stretches, changes in ways that sometimes feel overwhelming. But every change is purposeful, designed to make room for the life growing inside her. God is doing the same thing with your spirit. He's making room for the calling growing inside you. The vision He's placed in your heart is bigger than your current capacity. The assignment He's preparing you for requires more strength than you currently possess. The influence He wants to give you demands more wisdom than you've developed yet. So He stretches you gradually, lovingly, intentionally. During this stretching season, you'll feel pulled in directions you don't understand. You'll have desires for things you've never wanted before. You'll feel drawn to learn about topics that seem random. You'll find yourself praying for people you barely know. These aren't coincidences. They're previews of what's coming. God is stirring up gifts you didn't know you had. He's activating talents you've never explored. He's awakening passions you've kept buried. The woman He's preparing isn't just a better version of who you used to be. She's a completely transformed version of who you were created to be. And here's what happens as you near the end of preparation. God begins testing what He's built in you. He allows situations that would have broken the old you to see how the new you responds. He permits pressure that would have overwhelmed your previous version to see if your foundation can handle it now. These tests aren't punishments. They're promotions in disguise. Every test you pass, every challenge you overcome, every moment you choose faith over fear, you're proving to yourself and to heaven that you're ready for what's next. The woman God is preparing doesn't just survive her tests. She transforms through them. She doesn't just endure her trials. She emerges stronger because of them. She doesn't just make it through her wilderness seasons. She discovers who she really is in them. And when the preparation is complete, when the healing is finished, when the stretching is done, when the testing is passed, something shifts. Doors that were locked suddenly open. People who never noticed you start mentioning your name. Opportunities that seemed impossible become inevitable. Resources that were scarce become abundant. But it won't happen all at once. God's positioning is as strategic as His preparation. He'll open one door at a time, reveal one step at a time, unfold one piece of the vision at a time. Not because He wants to frustrate you, but because He wants to sustain you. The woman God is preparing learns that His timing is perfect, His process is purposeful, and His plan is worth the wait. So if this message found you today, it's not by accident. You are the woman God is preparing, and every restless night, every uncomfortable moment, every season of stretching has been shaping you for something extraordinary. Trust the process, embrace the preparation, and know that your breakthrough is closer than you think. If this spoke to your spirit, drop "Prepare Me" in the comments below.